Now, the other thing I want to chat about is the UK chart. Now, I'm going to be looking in detail at Starmer's chart, Nigel Farage's chart, and also the chart of the UK. I'm expecting a lot of things happening as early as January in terms of the UK, or late January. And it seems viable. I mean, Starmer has almost an uncanny ability to upset every demographic. It's like he's come in and he's had his foot on the gas to do every unpopular policy imaginable. Just think about it, from attacking the farmers, the pensioners with the winter fuel allowance, the waspy women, the students with the fees. They going to be building more on the green belt, upsetting people who want to preserve the countryside. They are obviously, the refugee issue is going to continue, and Angela Rayner is talking about moving refugees into every single constituency. Now they are so unpopular in the polls, and they've been losing a lot of the by-elections that have happened to reform, as well as council elections to reform, that Angela Rayner has come up with some scheme to introduce these mayors, and this will mean they have to delay council elections in May to introduce this whole mayoral scheme shake-up instead of the district councils, which means that they really, really are petrified of people turning out in mass at the local elections to oust Labour councils, which would look very, very bad for the government. I mean, I've lost track of everyone that he's upset. What about, there's the thing with inheritance tax, winter fuel, there were summer riots, a lot of people saying there's a big cover-up over the Southport killing, plastering the countryside with solar panels, giving billions and billions to Ukraine while cutting winter fuel payments for pensioners, the billions that are being paid these refugee centres, blah, blah, blah. What about, I mentioned the solar panels and these ridiculous net zero schemes, spending billions on some machine to capture carbon. I mean, someone used the analogy that the UK doing net zero is like cutting one blade of grass at Wembley Stadium and saying that they'd mowed the lawn. It's just ridiculous. The appointment of Peter Mandelson, strong ties to Jeffrey Epstein, a career mired in controversy, allegations of corruption, numerous times having to be sacked or walk away or resign, and he's appointed ambassador to America. Could you do any more to upset people? Rachel Reeves' budget, the crashing economy, sleaze, the national insurance increases, they're hitting small businesses, hitting every business. I mean, increasing the cost of living through these national insurance and minimum wage increases. It's all absolutely crazy. Tax rises, GDP, for what it's worth, falling. I mean, the euthanasia bill, which was not very popular with a lot of people because people think it's the thin end of the wedge. So just seems he's going out of his way to be as unpopular as possible. Rachel Reeves, not even qualified as a chancellor. And then we've got Elon Musk. Now, wasn't it unusual that he was given this role? Not given, but he buys Twitter, uses it as a vehicle to elevate right-wing voices and to help Donald Trump into power. And now he's going to use it to leverage Nigel Farage into power. We have Nick Candy giving donations, but what are his links? He makes money out of the London property market. He's not going to want mass immigration to slow down because his property sort of boom and the money he's making is fueled by all this mass immigration and by more and more foreigners from Qatar, wealthy Russians and whatever, buying property in London. So do you see the kind of people who are contributing to Farage and elevating to power are not the sort of people who are going to be wanting the policies that most people who like reform want. But I do think that there's a heightened possibility that there will be a general election as early as 2026, and we could see Nigel Farage as Prime Minister in 2026. And this is almost by design. It's almost like Starmer's advisors have got him on this supercharged mission to destroy Labour so they can bring in Farage. But it's all a bait and switch because it won't be what people are thinking. So I'll be covering more of this when it comes to the chart readings. Hold on for that and enjoy the rest of your holidays.